how and a happy Easter. I just want to show you what I've done. Obviously I didn't do very much over the Easter weekend. We had family here, so we were quite busy with the kids. I just want to show you, I lined these two top sails, sorry, the Top Galant and the Royal. The Royal's over on my bench, I'll show you that in a second. And I hung it. Now, one thing I noticed, these little pulley blocks, I think I used the wrong size on some of the cannons. The cannon should have had the very small blocks, and you can see most of them are. But either I used the wrong blocks on some of the cannons, or there wasn't enough in the kit, so I had to order some more. I got those in because there's another sail to go up which also has some blocks on. Some blocks I had to fasten down here on the stay. It's going to be quite interesting. If I ordered two packs, which is 40 blocks. Hopefully that's enough. Sorry, I'm just pushing this thread down. Right, so I shall show you where I've got to with this. I've put obviously the support. That string comes down the back and that one goes down the inside. Okay, it's quite interesting how some of the threads find their own way into a place. Right, I'll film me putting the next sail up. This one's not finished yet, and I'll film that as well. And to fill my time in while I was waiting for the stuff to be delivered, I started on the comfort doors. You have to, let's see if I can get it in focus. You have to put one block on top of another, centered of course, and they have to be painted red. And then they're going to have these hinges attached. Now I've just got to work out some way of making sure the hinges go in exactly the right place. But I think I've got that, and I'll show you when I come to it. Here's the Royal sail, Mizzen Royal, which will go on the very top. That hasn't got any pulleys on it yet. I shall do those in a few seconds. Okay, let me get set up, and we'll get this Mizzen Top Galant Sail installed. Right, I've got the got the ropes from the bunt lines, which are the corner of the sails. Sorry, yeah, bunt lines are clue lines, one or the other. From the corner of the sail goes, let's see if I can show you, goes up over that pulley and down through the holes in the tree and down to the deck, where I'm about to try and find. I'm going back to the holes here between moving camera and looking at pictures. Just got to see where it's the third one from the back. On this side I think I made an error at one point. So now I'm trying to show you the problem I have with these back pins. You have to lift this sail and go in to see what you're doing. So first of all, grab the rope. Here it is. I'm hoping my hands aren't in the way. Now. Actually, it's not so bad as now you can't see a damn thing, because it's actually got to the stage where it's even better for me to get in. Let me see if I can lift this. You can see that, I hope, I've gone backwards and forwards here on this rope. Oops, just fell out. Go back in. Right. Hope you can see that. That's over my fingers and under the sail. Can you? I don't know if you can see it or not, but there it is, right there. So, put a little bit of glue on it. Just to hold it in position. And I'll do the one on the other side. I'll come back to you in a few seconds. I've got them both tied in. Now, you see that you moved a lot of ropes when you're doing this, but all you do is just gently pull the sail back into position. Pull the yards back into position, and all the ropes go dink, and they tighten up. Obviously, some of the ropes are meant to be left slack, but you'll see that if it comes to the end. Not doing too badly loose at the moment. Okay, I'll come back to you in a few seconds. Right, next step is the bunt lines, which are the ones in the front of the sails, which go, in this case, they go out to the stay line, through a pulley and then down to the deck. So I'm going to have to tie up 2 more pulleys. All these little bits of thread that you cut off, don't throw them away straight away, because you can use length like this. I'll make these up and then I shall go and have a cup of coffee. As you can tell, I'm trying to pad out what I'm showing you so that I've got a video for tonight, because it's all been the very same thing, session after session after session. This is it when you're building ships. There's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16 sails so far. Well, 15 mounted, 16th one is on the deck here. See if we've got a smaller piece of thread that I can use for that. I don't need a huge piece. Put the pulley block at one end, and or towards one end, and that gives me a nice big tail to tie it to the stay when it comes to do it. It's the same as usual. Tie a little half knot around the pulley and I mean a spot of glue. In fact, a spot sometimes is too much. You can wipe it off. If you put too much on, it does tend to run down and go in the hole, and then you have to remake the hole. So that's it. Pulley blocks are stuck. Let them set while I go and have a cup of coffee, and I'll see you in a few seconds. I'll put some light on the subject and you can see what's happening, I hope. Now, right, so I put these 2 little pulley blocks on before I stopped the set. I just want to show you this final stage of, well, it's not, yeah, this is the penultimate on this sail. So we're going to go from about halfway up the sail, roughly, down to that pulley, and then down onto this rail here. So I'll give myself a little bit extra, like I always do. This must be the shortest rope on this sail, I think. So 2 of those. You can see, guys, how much work is involved in each sail. Okay, this is a small sail which I picked to show you all the work that's involved. It's the same with the bigger sails, it's just more of them. Okay, so now I need my needle again. Just got it in my hand. I don't know if you can see this. Needle threader. Pick one of the ropes, just one. These needles have got very small eyes on them. Now, about halfway up the sail, roughly. So I just pull it through and leave it like that. Now, do it on the other side so I can put the needle down then. For a few minutes anyway. Again, about halfway along the sail. Halfway up the edge, that is. Okay, put me there so I can find it again. Don't need a great deal of thread hanging off the side, just enough to make a little loopy knot. Pull it tight. Spot glue just to seal the knot. Remember, guys, it is a spot on here. You don't need a great deal. You'll see it when I do it. I hope you'll see it more when I do this side. I've said before, this is how I do it. Sometimes you can go through from this end with a knot on the end, on the back, and you end up with a little knobble like that, which I just change how I do it every now and again. So we take one of these blocks, and we hope the glue hasn't filled the hole. My goodness. Our biggest problem here is holding the block steady. Now this rope, you can see from all the ropes around about where it's going to go. I mean, if it's going to go on the outside of another rope or the inside. It has to go through the block. Now this one can either go left or right. There. We'll tie him off in a second. Let's get the other one through. I've got to say, some of these blocks aren't particularly well made. I'm really surprised. You see, this one's not going for fruit. So we have to do I usually end up killing the finger. The only thing I know is now that the rope will go through there. So this rope onto that pulls back, and as usual you try to get your hands out of the way and you end up sticking to another string. Like I said, strings are magnetic. Nobody believes me. They are. They're attracted to each other. I'm sure of it. Okay, try and show you where this is going. It's going to this rail here. So, and they show it's going through the second gap, which is through there. So just get it so it's kind of tight, but not over tight. If that makes sense. And what I do is I kind of don't tie a knot, but sort of a half hitch is enough just to secure it on that rail, which is what you would use in real life anyway. Just like that. And I'll get a bit of glue on it in a second when I've done the other one. And the other one obviously goes through the number 2 rail on the other side. So if you don't know what I'm talking about half hitch, you go round the back, come out the front, and then the lights in my eyes, go round the back, and that loop that you had there, come up through that loop. When you pull it tight, you've got yourself a half hitch. So what I do is just put a bit of glue on the back, those pop on both of them. But that's it. We'll trim off the excess, leave what would be a working end of a rope. Okay, that's part of it. So these are the bunt lines. So what we want now is 2 smaller pieces, which, and I mean smaller pieces, that's probably too much, but just I use these little bits of thread that I've got lying around here, and that's perfect. So once again we're going to stitch it into the sail. Sorry, I know I'm out of camera, be back there in a second. Now this time I'm going to go about halfway between there and the end, just back there. It's all, you've heard me say it before if you've watched it, if you follow me, eyeball engineering. If it looks right, it probably is. Put a little. I keep putting my glue down, I don't know where I put it. And since this tube is fast running out. Yeah. Same for the other side. up the wheel thread instead of the end that I've got here. Again, halfway from the end to where it was before, pull it through. I'll put the needle down because I need to work with tweezers now. So, I don't really know why they do it like this, but I noticed on the model of the Victory they use exactly the same set of rigging, shall we say, the same methods. So this string comes out to the string you just did a few seconds ago. You make a little knot on the string. So what you effectively end up with is a Y. So make a loop, slide it down till it looks about right. That's probably a bit too long, in fact. Let's shorten that. They don't give you any dimensions in the pictorial representation of where these go. There you go, something like that. Swing it around so it sits neatly. Use this. And a spot glue to seal the knot. Now the excess will be cut off very shortly. Here you might see this one a bit clearer. So round there, make a knot, keep it up, and you just slide it down so it looks, and so you end up with a Y. And that's it. Just needs those excess ends cutting off, and that's that sail installed. Not too bad, eh? That's a day's work for me, believe it or not. Ropes going everywhere. So, and I'm going to need 2 pulleys for up here for the next one. 2 pulley blocks, I should say. I might just string them up and get the blocks on the next sail ready for tomorrow. But effectively that's me done for today with this one. I keep finding loose threads. It's only because the ropes have been pulled and stretched and whatever. And a few places. You won't stretch these too much. I think I've got some pulleys up here which I'll probably put in excess without looking. I'll snip them off and use them again. I'm not snipping them off yet because they might be used for something else. I'll have to go back and check the numbers to see which one that was and see if I put too many in. Okay, that should be me for this week. I'll carry on and finish the royal, Mizzen royal, and then we'll be on to the cannon blocks in the next video. Okay, if you like it, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you again on the next one.